Is the Popcast. You are watching the Popcast live. We call it the Popcast Unleashed, the Popcast members section, the Pickle Party, the Cosmic Friday Night Live. What's up, Shane? How you doing, buddy? Welcome to the show.
Man, it's good to be here on a Friday. It's been a crazy busy week again.
Yes.
And we've got a lot done. Really proud of us, man. Just week after week, we're just doing it.
So proud. So
proud. Live show and huge video coming out every Friday.
Yeah. And look at my new shirt, buddy.
Oh,
Pickle Party in the house.
It is pickle time
it's
for sure.
It's a lady holding a giant pickle.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I almost started watching that show and then I realized, I don't got time for this.
What? Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
Good. It's well done. Well done TV.
Yeah.
Okay, Shane. What's happening, bro? What are we doing today? Bring the bang, bring the ruckus.
We have the ruckus. You want to fight it out? You want to go to town? Well, we got to talk about a ruckus today. Well, first off, let's talk about what's going on with us. So tomorrow, this is actually a pretty cool thing. I got to say, tomorrow, you'll be sleeping probably or joining some other podcast.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, I am taking my kids to Monster Trucks.
Monster Trucks.
Monster Trucks.
I thought that was a Sunday thing. Is it Saturday now?
Sunday.
Yeah, it used to be Sunday.
Yeah, they don't do those ads anymore, I guess. Now
Saturday.
It's probably both days, but it's pretty cool because it's been years since I've taken the kids. We're going to go down to Angel Stadium and have a good time. So that's kind of what's going on. I also want to shout out my cousin or my niece, Samantha. She gave me this beautiful little cup here. You can't really see it. It says Yoda, best uncle. May the force be with you. Love you. I do.
It's funny. She just spit in my face last time I talked to her. I'm kidding. I don't even know who you're talking about.
That's my niece, Samantha.
Okay. That's awesome. Yeah.
So that's kind of what's going on with me. And I'm excited about a lot of the new news going on. There's a lot of interesting things happening. Star Trek news is out. The Quantum Leap stuff is killing it. Boba Fett things. There's so much talk about. We lost a couple of actors, a singer and a comic today that was a little bit surprising.
Oh, Louie Anderson, right?
Yep, and Meatloaf. So we lost both of them.
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with Meatloaf, but I am familiar with Louie Anderson. I remember him going, I'm Louie Anderson. And remember that? He had a TV show where he played like a cartoon character where he was just like a kid version of himself with the exact same voice.
Yeah, I couldn't stand that cartoon. It was like Little Louie or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Where he played a kid. Yeah, that Louie Anderson was funny because everybody like has like a star that they might look like it's like when you talk like, hey, you kind of look like you look a little bit like Corey Feldman.
Everyone always said that growing up.
You used to growing up, right? For some reason, somebody told me, hey, you look like Louie Anderson, and I was like, whoa. Can we pick someone else other than Louie Anderson? But yeah.
All right. Well, all right. So what else are we doing today?
What do we got with us here?
What's that?
Who do we have with us today so far?
Well, let's just tell everybody what we're doing, and then you can do that. We are talking about Louie Anderson, Meatloaf. We're talking about Hugh Jackman possibly being in Doctor Strange, and he's going to be playing Wolverine, apparently. That's very interesting. I don't know why that's not in the member section. That's the news.
Well, I'll tell you. Well, it's not in the member section for a really good reason.
Okay. Tom Cruise playing Iron Man. I know that's probably not real, right? Or maybe he's playing like an alternate version or something. Investment tip of the week. Shane's still doing that.
Look, I think it's important that we talk about it, especially at least for 5 minutes.
And for the first time, our Discord topic of the week coming straight from the boys and girls over on Discord. If you want to join our Discord, it's very simple. It's discord.io/popcast or hit the link in the description of any video that you could possibly be watching, including this one. And the Discord topic of the week is Microsoft the Disney of video games.
Yes, that's the new Activision purchase they made.
Yeah.
We're talk about that.
Yeah, $80 trillion, right?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, a good reason to go to Discord is also the when you're in Discord, there's this, as you do more posts and as you talk to people, you actually move up in levels. So it's kind of like almost like a little game.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's kind of fun.
Hey man, you want to be a cast member or a member, but you don't want to spend you don't want to throw a cup of coffee worth of money at it. Go to the Discord, because the more you interact there, the more roles you can gain. Additionally, Shane is going to be giving us a long-winded Boba Fett rant.
Wait, no. Why did you say long-winded?
Because that's you.
So it just says Boba Fett rant.
Yeah, but
it does not say long-winded Boba Fett rant.
Shane, you're long-winded.
Oh, all right. I'll remember that next
time. Apparently, the Batman with Robert Pattinson is 3 hours long, and I gotta be honest, that makes me not that decreases my excitement levels.
Yes.
That means they're taking it way too seriously. Upload season 2 announced. I loved that show, by the way. Upload was, if you haven't seen Upload on Amazon, you gotta go check it out. Over in the members section, we're talking about Star Trek. There's a ton of updates coming up. A lot. I mean, they apparently just greenlit all the Star Trek shows. The CBS is just all in on the
all the Star Trek.
All the Star Trek. I was about to say dumpster fire. No, they're all in on Star Trek, because whether you like it or hate it or love it, you're probably still watching, which means you're a subscriber to Paramount Plus. Just remember that. That's, if you ask yourself, why do they keep renewing Discovery when no one likes it or very few people like it? Because you're still watching it. And I'm guilty of that as well. And as far as their metrics are concerned, we're still subscribers. So, the Picard season 2 final trailer had some interesting stuff. Guinan made an appearance. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna go.
There's a ton of stuff to break down in that trailer. Like, as I'm watching the trailer, I'm like, oh
yeah.
So there's a lot of those.
Yeah, there might be a video there, by the way. We gotta talk about that later.
There probably will be.
Yeah. The Orville is coming. Are you ready? Considering the views our last couple Orville videos got, I don't think you are.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. We'll talk about it during the thing. What's up with the fandom? What's up with the Orville fandom?
Also, should Wheel of Time worry you about the Ring of Power? So basically, if you disliked Wheel of Time, we pretty much agree that whether the story is good or not, it was not properly executed. So is that a problem for the Lord of the Rings series coming up? Because it's a similar property, although I think they spent a lot more money on Lord of the Rings. So,
well, I'm going to tell you, I'll tell you the short answer is no, but you're really going to want to hear why, because I think it makes a big difference.
Okay. That is what we're talking about today. So if you're interested in that, please join us live. I know a lot of you guys and gals watch it after the fact, and that's okay. I appreciate that. But if you were watching it right now after the fact, and you got this far, next time we're live, and it's going to be on Friday around this time, come on by and join us live and interact with us. We want to talk. We want to talk and then enjoy your time. Okay, that said, are you ready to start talking about the news, Shane?
I am so ready. But first, let's shout out. We got Jeremy over in the chat, and he brought up some interesting things we're going to be talking about. Oh, so Jeremy works. He's been, I think he's been working nights. So he stayed up to, I don't know, he stayed up or went to bed or whatever he's doing, but he's very tired right now, but he's staying up to hang out with us.
Jeremy, how are you dealing with all those people trying to steal packages from your truck?
What?
Yeah. You don't hear about that? There's
no
people raiding trains and trucks and stuff and just stealing Amazon packages. It's
really?
I thought it was a minor thing that happened a few times, but then you see the pictures. And bro, the entire road and the train tracks or whatever are littered with boxes.
Like of them opening them, just throwing them?
Yeah, they're opening them. They take what they want, leave what they don't want there, and thousands and thousands of boxes.
What the heck? Is there no security or anything?
People just do whatever they want to do nowadays. I mean, I can't.
You hear about those Amazon delivery drivers who are they see people following them around. So they basically like pull over, drop off a package, and then leave again. And then that person just goes up and takes the package off the porch.
Yeah.
And now they're wearing like, these hoodies, so you can't really see their face.
Well,
on
they can wear a mask now, and no one's even gonna question if you're wearing a mask. And I mean, like 10 years ago, if someone walked up to your house wearing a mask, you'd be like, "Yo, what's this dude's problem?" Right?
Right.
But now it's super common. In fact, some people actually expect it, which means that it's really easy to be thieving nowadays. In the words of Jane from Firefly. Let's be
Very
bad
true.
guys. All right.
That's a good point.
Also, Kenneth is over in the members section as usual. He is celebrating 11 months, and he got his green cast member thing, which is awesome. Welcome.
That's
Ken.
awesome. Congrats, Ken.
Too much time since the last episode of Orville. Yeah, we'll be talking about that.
Yeah. And we were talking to you, but we're actually talking about Ken the other day because he also supports us on Patreon and here on the member section. So you were the man, Ken. And I did get your note about the t-shirt. We're going to be sending him a Borg Queen shirt here pretty soon.
Sweet. Okay, man, let's talk about Meatloaf and Louie Anderson. Just be full transparency. We are now trying to upload a video a week, and if you know anything about us, that takes an incredible amount of effort. And so, once again, I haven't slept in like 30-something hours, and I know almost nothing about the topics we're talking about today. So we're going to be experiencing them firsthand. Shane picked all the topics, including the Louie Anderson and Meatloaf. Rest in peace. Shane, talk to me, buddy.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a surprise. I mean, Meatloaf passed away yesterday. A lot of younger people may not be familiar with Meatloaf. The song that most people would probably remember if they're a little bit younger might be "I Would Do Anything for Love, But I Won't Do That." Do you remember that song?
But I won't do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's Meatloaf. And that was his comeback. He was a really popular singer, a lot of rock, a lot of rock opera.
I have a question. What was he referring to in that? Was it like...
We still don't know.
Oh.
I actually asked him
stuff with
question.
gerbils or something.
No, I asked him that question.
No.
So I asked him what that was.
Yeah.
So back in 1994, when I was in Puerto Rico, him and his wife and his two daughters flew into Puerto Rico, and one of our jobs was to pick them up at the airport and take them to where they wanted to go. And I asked him because his song had just come out, I don't know, 7 months before.
Right.
And so I asked him. I said, Mr. Loaf. I said,
Mr. Loaf,
what wouldn't you do for love, or what is? But you won't do that. And he just kind of laughed and he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm not telling."
Wait. Let's reenact that real quick. Okay, I'll be Meatloaf and you be you. Ready? Go ahead.
Okay, hold on. Mr. Loaf, can you mind if I ask you a question about your song?
Oh yeah, sure.
So if you would do anything for love, but you wouldn't do that,
butt stuff.
What is that?
It's butt stuff.
Oh, well, your daughters were in the car, buddy. You might not want to mention that.
Yeah, they know. It's
and
butt stuff.
You can get out here.
We're not doing butt stuff. No butt stuff here.
So he passed away sadly at the age of 74. What's interesting is they're saying he died from COVID. So that is interesting. Apparently he was actually getting ready for a new show that he was going to do. 74 new show. That's pretty good. And unfortunately, he was out having dinner earlier this week. The dinner was canceled because he became really ill. Ended up with COVID. Quickly ended up with some serious conditions that became critical and ended up in the hospital. And his wife and two daughters were by his side when he passed away.
Oh.
Unfortunately, it's just one of those situations. But I mean, Meatloaf was one of the greatest rock singers of all time. His 1977 Bat Out of Hell album sold an astounding 65 million copies.
Wow.
Let's see.
I feel bad about not knowing at all who he is.
Well, like I said, it's a little before, I'll tell you, we remember. So he was in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, right? He was in Spice World, the movie.
Wasn't Scott Bakula in Rocky Horror too?
No, I don't think so. If he was, it was a bit part. But you remember him from Fight Club. That's who you remember him from.
Oh, okay.
And he was Bob.
Oh, snaps.
That was Meatloaf.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Because Bob has, you know.
He's an average looking dude.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, he used to have like long hair and, you know, he cut it shorter throughout the years. In that movie, but he was great. I mean, honestly, in Fight Club, he was awesome. I loved Bob. He was not, I mean, strictly an actor. He's mostly a rock star singer, but
Bob was great.
Yeah.
The other day, someone was like, "Hey, man, have you seen that movie Fight Club?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Dude, it's so underrated, right?" And I'm like, "No,
it's so underrated.
No one's underrating that. I mean, it's great.
It's one of the great ones.
It's not an underrated movie. The majority of people agree it's a phenomenal film." And he goes, "Oh, I've never seen it." I'm like, "You've never heard of Fight?" This guy's like 50, bro. 56 or something like that.
Okay.
He's never heard of Fight Club.
Interesting. That's wow. Okay.
I was like,
some people don't make it to the movies.
I guess. I was like, yo, for me, that's like if you said you've never heard of like Del Taco, because it's one of those movies that even if you haven't seen it, you've heard of it.
Right.
You know? It's very odd to me. But he's like, "Yeah, it's so underrated." I'm like, "No, it's not underrated."
Did you look at him and go, number one rule of Fight Club is, and he just kind of looked at you blankly?
Look at me. Don't talk about Fight Club.
Don't talk about Fight Club. He's like, what? What are you talking about?
He saw a different Fight Club.
So ironically, Meatloaf was a vegetarian from 1981 to 1992.
That is ironic.
And strangely enough, there were rock stars and famous people who didn't want to speak to Meatloaf because of his name, because they were vegans.
Really?
Katie Lang being one of them. Katie Lang would not meet with Meatloaf because he was named Meatloaf.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that a strange thing?
Yeah, calm down, Katie. Take it easy, man.
Rest in peace, Mr. Loaf.
Yeah, rest in peace, Mr. Loaf. I wonder if it was COVID or something, some like complication of COVID or something.
Well, he was fine, and then he probably got COVID and ended up. I mean, listen, if they don't know whether he was vaccinated or not, he was kind of an outspoken proponent against vaccine mandates for sure, and he was kind of railing with the folks in Australia about it recently. No one knows whether or not he was vaccinated. I mean, at least the public does not know.
Yeah.
But he was 74, and he was never a very small man, although he did lose quite a bit of weight. Looks like over the years. So I don't know.
Cool.
All I know is that's what they're listing it as.
Jeremy said Meatloaf was parodied in an early episode of South Park, Chef Aid. Chef gave him the name Meatloaf. Before Chef, his name was Couscous.
Right. I remember that. That was great.
Interesting. All right. What's next? What's next, Shane?
So let's just talk Louie Anderson real quick. Sorry.
Louie Anderson.
Yeah, he didn't make it quite as long. 68 years old. Louie.
Wow, he was only 68?
68 years old. Yep. He was battling a blood cancer and lost. So he ended up dying from cancer. Let's start the note on a really positive up note here. But Louie Anderson, you're right. He was a kind of a pop culture icon. He got his start in the movie Coming to America with Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
He played one of the burger guy, right?
It's awesome.
But so he was battling, and he ended up passing away, but he does leave quite a impressive legacy. I didn't find him as a comic to be that funny. He was more of a character to me. But a lot of people loved him. He used to come on the Tonight Show all the time. He was kind of considered comedy royalty at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was funny. I didn't think I think he was like, I don't think he was a funny comic. I think he was a funny personality.
Yeah, he was a character, right, or a caricature. It was his it was kind of that, the way he delivered his lines, I think, more than the jokes themselves,
Yeah. All right.
Yes, rest in peace, Louie Anderson.
I'm a little taken back. Why did we make this the top of the show?
I'll tell you why it's the top of the show, because it is the most newsworthy thing that happened today.
Copy. Copy that.
And so I figured we just, we come out hot, talk about, because, it's not every day that pop culture icons pass away.
Sure. I hear you. Okay, man, let's move on. Let's get to something a little happier. What you got?
Well, let's talk a little bit about some rumor mill stuff. Hugh Jackman and Tom Cruise.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, so this was two different stories. I thought it was really weird. So the first story was, Doctor Strange 2, Hugh Jackman confirms involvement in multiverse sequel. And of course, that immediately was like, boom. So I looked and I said, okay, it must be giant freaking robot. It wasn't. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's not giant
Who's this?
Robot. It's their subdomain, Epic Stream.
Epic Stream, right? And I'm like, all right. So let's see what's going on. And it kind of makes sense. I mean, Hugh Jackman, X-Men, Wolverine is probably the key X-Men figure from the entire X-Men franchise. Having him in the multiverse sequel to Doctor Strange 2 would be perfect, because not only can he could bring in the X-Men into the Marvel universe, right? Which is something we're sort of expecting will happen anyways, right?
Right.
So I'm going through here, I'm taking a look at it, and all of a sudden, there's this thing. It says Hugh Jackman hinting at his appearance in Wolverine in the Multiverse Madness. So maybe you could play this little clip for people so you can see the evidence, the proof that he will be in this movie.
Here we go. Here's the proof, everyone.
Wolverine. In Doctor Strange.
Wolverine?
Yes.
Yeah. That's me. That's me. See you guys.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Hugh Jackman will be in the movie because somebody asked him if he was going to be in the movie, and he says, yes, I'm Wolverine, and then turned around and walked around.
Yeah, he misheard them, obviously.
I don't know. I don't know if the craziness of Spider-Man No Way Home, where everybody's like, it's definitely going to happen. They're going to put in these crazy characters that,
No, guys, she's speaking with an accent. It's super loud. They both have masks on. He has a beanie on. He only hears Wolverine. Like he's like she's asking if he's Wolverine. He's like, yeah, Wolverine, that's me. Yeah. He did not say he's going to be in the movie. He just confirmed a character he once played. Like, guys, this is not news.
Well, this is what they wrote. This is great. And I'm sorry, guys, to get anybody's hopes up that we're thinking he might be in it. When asked by a fan whether or not he's making a cameo appearance in Doctor Strange 2, the Aussie actor went straight to the point instead of giving a cryptic answer. And believe it or not, he told the fan that he's actually in the film.
No, he didn't.
Of course, his confirmation doesn't really say much, considering Marvel Studios' strict code when it comes to keeping all things MCU a secret. But on the other hand, what if he's just pulling a reverse Andrew Garfield on us?
No, he's not. He's not doing any of that.
He doesn't even say the words.
He doesn't say anything. He just says yes. Wolverine, yes. He doesn't actually confirm anything. He thinks that the lady is asking who he is because he has a mask on or whatever, and it's loud. I didn't even hear her say Multiverse of Madness. I thought she was asking if he was Wolverine. I'm like, yeah, of course it's Wolverine.
I had to hear it 3 times. She does ask if he's in the movie. I mean, I don't know how she said it, but it just was very difficult to understand.
Yeah, but he didn't hear that. He heard exactly what I heard the first time, and that was Wolverine? Question mark?
Well, he goes,
Wolverine?
I'm Wolverine. Yeah, I mean,
that's me. Yep.
So either Epic Stream is just really having a difficult time understanding common sense, or you throw him in the same giant freaking robot, Reichman, whatever that guy's name is. Throw them in all that, Inside the Magic, all those websites out there. Don't trust them anymore. So now we should just go right over to the Hindustan Times.
Oh, here we go.
Now listen, I wouldn't
wait.
I'm so sorry.
What? Where are you getting these websites at?
They're on Google News, man.
Oh my God. I gotta make a website.
This is Google News, bro.
Clearly it's an easy way to make money, I think, right? It must be.
I mean, just make up stuff and
in the stand times.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
All right.
Can you
What's
show
this
everybody
about?
what we're looking at to make us laugh so hard, please?
It looks like it looks like Tom Cruise with a goatee like Tony Stark. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, so it says here, is that Tom Cruise playing Iron Man in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? Leaked set images shocks fans. Okay, so I gotta tell you, the image itself, if you look at the face, it does look like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, it does.
It 100% does.
I mean,
But something when you look close at this, there's something that kind of trips me out about this image.
I mean, it looks like him. It does look like him.
Doesn't it look sort of like two-dimensional? You know what I mean? It doesn't. It looks kind of flat to me. It looks like maybe
It's
like
a
a
picture,
cardboard cutout,
Oh,
right?
I don't know. Like what? Why is it all cropped, bro? All right, you know what? Let's get to the bottom of this, bro. Why are you making me do this on live here? Okay, here we go.
If rumors are true, Tom Cruise will appear as Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. Let's see. It could likely be one of the biggest. I don't understand why this Indian website is all in English. New Delhi. I don't know. Yeah. So it says here would likely be one of the biggest cameos in the history of Marvel's cinematic universe and a pretty on-the-nose inside joke. Rumor has it that Tom Cruise is taking up the Iron Man mantle in the upcoming Marvel movie Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness in a hazy leaked image purportedly from the film set. I mean, it's hard to even tell if it's the film set. That has surfaced on social media, a man resembling Tom Cruise. So it may not be Tom Cruise. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, at least they're not like outwardly like the other site was like, this is huge. He confirmed it.
That is true. They said it. That is. I got to give him some.
Yeah, give him some credit because they're everything is good. So the title, the headline is a question mark, and they are being real upfront about the information. Okay, so
Hindustan Times. Kudos to you guys. Okay, and you got an image. You're not just pulling it out of your booty. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so it says here that the person resembling Tom Cruise can be seen dressed in the motion capture suit. The image was posted by a Twitter account specializing in pop culture leaks. Gosh, I wonder if it's giant.
It's not. It's called moth culture.
That's okay. All right.
Okay, ready? First thing, ready?
Yeah.
It's a fake. That's a modified picture from Days of Thunder. This is not the exact.
Is it really?
Well, you can see someone just modified.
It is, dude. Suit. Look at that. The middle is he? Does he have a goatee in Days of Thunder?
No, but dude, listen, man. Okay, as a Photoshop guy, it's super easy to add a goatee.
It's no problem. Okay. Yeah. Well, you heard it here first, guys. There's no Tom Cruise. Not that we thought there was going to be Tom Cruise playing Iron Man. Could you imagine Tom Cruise playing Iron Man?
This is a sick image. Oh my god, I'm saving that. Look how cool that is. Whoever did this is a genius. All right.
Oh, look, it says Brian Montgomery on it. That's weird.
Oh, look at that.
So, anyways, there is likely no Wolverine and no Tom Cruise, or no. Those guys are probably not going to be in Multiverse. Now, does that mean there's not going to be some shenanigans pulled and like some actors we didn't expect to be in that movie? No, I mean, it's very possible that we're going to get some people. Right now, we know we've got, Elizabeth Olsen playing Wanda. She's going to be in it. You got Chiwetel Ejiofor playing Mordo. Of course.
I mean, look, there's going to be some variant craziness. Okay?
There's got to be, right?
So that this news is coming from the idea that there's going to be some like surprise variant stuff because, let's face it, Spider-Man No Way From Home was very successful in what they did with that, and they're going to do the same thing with the Multiverse of Madness. But people really want to believe this because there's a YouTuber about about a year ago that said Tom Cruise would be a perfect variant for Iron Man, and they just ran with it, and he didn't back it off. So the comment to that tweet says, "Well, there's prosthetics on his face with variants being a thing now. Couldn't this be a thing?" And the first comment, no. No. The answer is no. If he is in the film, it's possible he could be a variant of Tony Stark. Sure. It's possible I could be a variant of Tony Stark. But
what really? No, I
didn't. Hey, what if I can't talk about it and I'm being paid to be a fat Tony Stark? I don't know.
You could be, you know what? You could be a variant happy.
But thanks. But here's the thing, guys. Regardless of whether or not he's actually in the movie or not, that picture is fake. It's the exact racing suit from his that movie, Days of Thunder. Someone just modified. It's very easy to see the modifications, and it's very easy to draw a couple black dots in someone's face in a low res image to make it look like a goatee. So,
all right, there it is. You got it from the pro. Thank you, Mr. Brian.
Moving on. What's next?
Let's go over to the chat really quick. Jeremy's talking about giant freaking robots article that Tarantino is directing a Star Wars TV series. LOL. Yeah, no, I saw that too. I'm like, gosh, these guys just pull stuff out of their butts. I mean, they even said, Jeremy, they didn't just say it was him, he was directing, but they said it was what did they say it was? Like they were the only ones with the information. What are the exclusive?
Oh, it's exclusive. Although Tarantino doing a Bad Bunch, Stormtrooper Bad Bunch series would be sick.
It's not going to happen. Disney's not going to let him anywhere near a series.
Yeah.
CBS, Paramount isn't going to let him anywhere near a series. Quentin is just too crazy. He's gonna want to do crazy things.
So we need to add a segment to our live show called the Giant Freaking Robot Hour, or segment, where we we just read giant freaking robot articles.
I mean, it's kind of entertaining.
It's entertaining as hell, bro. I'm entertained right now.
You know, if they pass it off as like we're completely full of crap, but hey, enjoy what we're about to say. It might be okay.
Yeah. Like The Onion or Babylon Bee or whatever. Like,
yeah,
some of those websites are awesome because they're telling us, you know, everything's fake, but they're telling a story that's just real enough to be hilarious. You know what I mean? Or just absolutely real enough to send your buddy who is not up on pop culture an article that says, like, you know, drinking milk makes you better at Fortnite, and all of a sudden you see like 15 gallons in his fridge. I'm telling you, bro. Like, I've sent some of those articles to people. Our dad, just be like, "Yeah, see this, Dad?
Perfect.
Yes. See this?
Like, really?
The Rock is running for president. Yeah." Although I wouldn't put it past the Rock running for president.
Okay, so yes, you know, I want to do a quick segment here. It's only going to take a few minutes. Okay, so stay with me, guys. All right, I want to talk about the investing tip of the week.
Oh God, here we go.
And this came up. No, you can't. Oh God, it because it happened because you called me today and mentioned something to me.
Okay, all right.
Okay, guys, listen. I don't know if you're investing in the stock market or not, but I'm going to tell you right now, the stock market is going down. All right, everybody's talking about it. It's having a definitely going down right now.
Yes.
So
my portfolio is 2/3 of its original value.
Right. So here's the investment tip. If you are already investing, then, and by the way, this is not financial advice. I'm just putting it out. This is just, you know, we have some experience, so we want to share our thoughts. If you are investing, now is a good time to take any profits you have and put some money on the sideline and wait for the stock market to continue to drop till it gets near a bottom. If you don't have any money in the stock market, very soon will be a great time to start investing because the stock market is going to bottom out and then it'll come back up. So that's the investing tip of the week. That's it. Get in if you're not out. And if you need some more advice about it, just hit us up and we'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah, in no way do I know anything about this, but I'll tell you what changed my my mindset about investing. I always thought investing was like gambling because when I was younger, I gambled. And I gambled with investments. But my new thing is I don't care how low Disney or Coca-Cola or whatever I'm invested in goes, because I'm very confident that I bought below their value. So it doesn't matter how low they go. For me, it's like this is a savings account. And instead of a savings account that that's making 0.05% or whatever, I might make an actual dividend, and in 10 years with inflation alone, just inflation alone, the value of my savings will be exponentially higher than if I just put that money in a pellet case.
No, I mean that's actually probably the best investing tip right there. 100% true. Can't put money in the bank anymore. Does you no good to put it under your mattress because inflation is going to cause your money to be worth less.
Right.
So if you just want to put cash away, it's not good. And honestly, if you could put it in the bank, it's not doing nothing for you. Yeah. So you might as well find a low interest, a dividend. Somebody's paying dividends for a long time. Stick it in there and earn some money.
Or if you're like me and you're completely ignorant, like pick a couple companies that is going to be around in 10 years.
Yeah.
Like I know for a fact Disney's not going out of business, no matter how much I hate their stuff.
Yeah, Disney, Coke, none of those.
Not going out of business. So I'm going to invest in these companies that I know for a fact that when I want my when I want to use my savings in 10 or 15 years, I know for a fact my money is safe there, and that at the very worst case scenario, inflation alone has increased the value of my original investment.
There you go. And that's your investment tip of the week.
And I'm so bad at investing. But I got lucky and I bought Dogecoin because my buddy bought it. And he told me to buy it. And I was like, I'm going to wait until it gets to 69 cents because that's the meme price, right?
Uh-huh.
And I bought it at like 11 cents. And when it was getting to 69, but because I don't know how to invest, I don't know how the software works, I didn't put a limit buy. I was trying to sell it manually. And at the time, I didn't put when it gets to this number, sell all my shares. So I was trying to manually sell it when I was seeing the price get to 69. And because everyone else was also trying to, I kept failing. And so I ended up selling it at like 49, which is still, totally profitable. But that's how ignorant I am. I didn't even know how to set an automatic sell,
It's all right. You'll get there. You'll be a pro.
All right. Let's move on.
Okay. So we decided to try something new this week. We're hot and heavy in Discord right now. We really want to get that going for you guys. We found out recently that that people were joining and it wasn't quite the experience we wanted people to have. And so we decided this week we were going to put out, we're going to have people put out ideas. We want to have a Discord topic of the week. And so we put out 3 topics, ended up going out, and then everybody voted on it. And we ended up with this one here, which is Microsoft trying to become the Disney of video games. So what does that mean? Disney, of course, bought up a whole bunch of studios, networks, and trying to basically corner the market in entertainment. Is Microsoft trying to do the same thing with their recent acquisition of Activision Blizzard? Of course, if you're familiar with Atari, you've known Activision for a long time, software company. And this isn't the first people that Xbox have bought, right, Brian?
No, they bought Minecraft. What was Minecraft?
Mojang.
That's right. Yeah, I remember it was it's some kind of like a game people play. They bought Origin, Bethesda. They bought Elder Scrolls. They bought
Obsidian Entertainment.
Yeah, they bought BioWare, if I remember correctly. I think they bought BioWare. They're buying a lot of stuff. So here's the deal, though. I guess the comparison between Microsoft and Disney would actually be a good one, because even though one's operating in games and the other one's operating in movies and TV shows, They actually both have a streaming service.
Mm.
Microsoft has Xbox Live, and for a fee, you can download and play a lot of games as part of your subscription, just like you would stream TV shows and movies. So it makes sense that they buy up all these little studios or big studios, and they increase the value of their portfolio. Now, to be fair, Microsoft can't compete with Steam as a marketplace. So I think this is my thought. I think that Microsoft's like, we can't compete with Steam as a marketplace. Steam is at the top of the pile. Every developer is going to work with Steam because that's how you sell games. But Steam doesn't have a subscription service. They have no plans to do a subscription service. In fact, their entire model actually wouldn't work because Steam doesn't actually own the majority of the games it sells. They're all third party in some way. So they couldn't even do a subscription service. But Xbox Game Pass, you buy the studios up, you can start, it's your own version of video game Netflix. And right. I think people are willing to pay that. And we saw how much money. So we thought $80 billion is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. $80 billion. And they bought that company cash. I'm not even sure how you can buy anything cash for $80 billion. That's like outstanding to me.
Well, I can tell you why.
Well, we did the math for Netflix, remember?
Yeah.
$15 a month. How much does that come out to? Billions of dollars, right?
Well, let's do the same thing. So what is your Xbox Live subscription?
I spend $10 a month.
Oh, okay. Well, I think my son's is $14.99.
I'm on the lowest tier.
Okay. So his is $15 a month. They have back in December 2020, so 2 years ago, they had approximately 100 million monthly active subscribers.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So what's 1,500 million?
Oh my God.
$1.5 billion a month.
Yeah.
Just in subscription money.
That's not including
games.
The games they sell. Or how about this? When you buy the Xbox currency,
oh yeah,
so you can buy in-game items,
right?
And skins and all that. Guess who's taking? Microsoft has taken a piece. When you go on Fortnite and you buy V-Bucks, so you can get skins for your over-sexualized panda bear character or whatever. When you give Fortnite, your $10 to get your 300 V-Bucks or whatever it is. Guess who is getting a portion of that, my friends?
Yeah, Microsoft. Yeah, so I guess our investment tip of the week should have been buy Microsoft.
Apparently. Oh my God, bro. Yeah. So that's
now look at how many games they can add. Do you know how many games active?
This is how they can afford an $80 billion cash buyout.
Right.
That is so insane to me. I don't
look at this. Activision has more than 5,000 games. 5,000. And how many does Blizzard have? I mean, they now own World of Warcraft. Xbox now owns World of Warcraft.
They own World of Warcraft.
Right.
So it looks like they're gonna. So they bought a bunch of they bought studios that have a stranglehold on PC, on part of the PC market.
Right.
That Steam and Valve doesn't have access to. So you know what Microsoft's doing? They're going to go from Xbox into your PC pretty soon. And it's already there, but they're going to start actually gaining market share there. Because even if you want to play your WoW subscription, you're going to have to download the Microsoft Game Pass or whatever.
In order to do it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and PlayStation is the one that's on the outside looking in here. They have to utilize their own internal game developers. Xbox is just eating up space. They're just buying everything. So yeah, so I guess you can say the argument is they are becoming the Disney, but who isn't? Amazon's trying to buy as much as they can. Disney's trying to buy as much as they can. Now Microsoft is trying to buy whatever they can. I mean, That seems to be the name of the game. At what point does monopolization become something that the government really takes a serious look at again? You know,
I mean, this is I don't understand. I do feel like antitrust laws have become extremely lax over the last decade.
100%. Yeah.
I mean, why?
Absolutely.
Why have we stopped paying attention to something that is so important? Like Amazon should not be able to own. I know they go, oh, they don't own shipping companies. Well, they do. They actually do. They do own shipping companies, and no one really talks about it, dude. It's the weirdest thing.
Right. You know what's interesting about subscription services to me? Like this is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. A lot of times when they talk about, you know, whether or not a company is successful or not is whether or not they can continue to increase their subscriptions, right?
Right.
What happens when you're like Netflix or like, you know, Microsoft Xbox, and like you almost everybody has a subscription? How do you market the success from that point on?
I mean,
you know what I mean?
If everyone has a subscription, do you need to?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I know you shouldn't have to. I mean, we're talking about billions of dollars a month, but yet we are still talking about whether or not Netflix can continue to be successful. And it's like, you know, when almost every household in the country and you know, and then most in the world that can afford it or that have the ability to do so have Netflix subscriptions.
Yeah, the question is, how can they not be successful?
Right. But you know,
because like they're set up already. All they have to do is continue. They have to keep their relationships with license holders or continue to create their own library. One of the two. Because the only reason people will leave is if their library gets so stale that it's just not worth the price of admission.
I mean, right. And at what point do number of subscriptions stop becoming the measuring stick because they already have all the subscriptions? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. So if you go, oh, we want to increase profits, well, everyone's already subscribed. So what do you do now? Do you set up another tier? Do you start?
Right. Yeah.
You start doing early access or something, maybe?
Yeah. Early access, increase the price, something. So I guess what I'm trying to say to everybody is whether you got Xbox Live or Netflix or any of the subscription services, once they feel like they've maxed out their subscriber base, you have to be prepared for some other way for them to infuse themselves with money. Right. So just that's something we should be looking forward to in the future.
Wow. Well, I gotta tell you, Roku is currently sitting very low right now in stock price. And how do you consume the majority of these things? Anybody? Oh, Roku.
A lot of people do.
So not investment advice, but let's just say I'm investing in Roku.
Me too.
All right, moving on. What was next? I can't see it, bro.
Let's go with it's time for the rant, dude.
Oh, here we go.
The Book of Boba Fett Rant.
Hold up, real quick. Kenneth the Rogue says, if everyone has a subscription, you raise the price.
There it is. Right? Yeah. We're right, Ken, right?
Yeah. Supply and demand, baby. It's manufactured demand, but yeah, same thing. All right, let's hear your rant. Here we go. Here's the rant. I hear the rant. Here we go.
Let's hear the rant.
Do it, Shane.
Well, okay. So first off, did you see the most recent episode of Boba Fett?
Is that the one with the Rancor?
No, the most recent episode? No, there was another episode. Episode 4 came out on Wednesday. You probably haven't seen it because you've been working so hard.
I have been editing for 3 days.
Okay, so I don't want to like mess up anything for you. That's why I mentioned it.
Oh, I see.
You're being nice. I know you're watching the show,
right?
But we got to talk about
such a nice guy, Shane.
I'm thinking about you and all the rest of you guys out there. If you haven't seen episode 4 of the Book of Boba Fett, I might ruin a couple of things for you.
He's gonna ruin it.
I'm not going to ruin it greatly. But anyways, this is what made me mad. Okay, so there's a lot of people talking about the Book of Boba Fett, and they're saying, oh, Boba Fett, the guy who's playing him now, his voice isn't the same as the original Boba Fett's voice. And I mean, Boba Fett had like one line in the original movies, and there's just a lot of this weird complaining going on. Some people
I'm sorry.
say, okay,
Can you? What they're complaining about? What his voice sounds like now compared to in the prequel?
The original when he was getting Han Solo or whatever.
Guys, those are called city miles, dude. That guy's clearly put some miles on his body.
Well, it's not the same guy. It is a different actor that played that Boba Fett. I mean, you never saw him. You got his voice through some sort of.
Oh, I didn't even know that. So.
Yeah, through some sort of hollow box. I mean, it wasn't even the guy's voice. It was like, I mean, it was, but it was. You remember listening to Boba Fett's voice, right? It's almost computerized, I would say.
Right.
But so there's people out there complaining that his voice is better than the voice of the actor now. And that voice was like one line, guys. Like the Temuera who's playing him now, who played him in, who played the bounty, who played his dad,
Jango Fett.
Jango in the prequels, same character. But the guy who played Boba Fett in the original series, 4, 5, and 6, 5 and 6, is a different guy. But you don't know anything about that character. He's got he says one line or two lines. Right. Got a cool ship we like,
Yeah.
He looks bad because he's got cool armor.
Yeah, didn't they change the name of the ship too?
They're working on it. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be Slave One.
It's not Slave One anymore, right?
That's so dumb. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, that is pretty stupid.
But there's this article that came out. IGN came out, and it was like, hey, Star Wars has a Tatooine problem. I'm like, gosh dang it. Here it goes this week again with the darn Boba Fett slamming, right? And I really like the show. They're really detailing out Tatooine and this whole Star Wars world.
I mean, there is some cringe though, to be fair.
Well, okay, from what you've seen so far, there is some cringe. The little bite guys. Look, how long can we bitch about the bite guys? Excuse my French.
I'm not. I'm just mentioning that there is some cringe. That's it.
Okay, like how much cringe? 5% cringe? 10% cringe? Like how much cringe is there? At what point is there not enough cringe for you to say something about it?
That's true. At what point?
What is the percentage where you're like, it's okay because the show's good?
Well, so my thing is this. And I already told you this, but like I want them to. I want Boba to be more badass.
Why? Now I want to know why. Because was he really that, I guess, badass in 4 and 5 or 5 and 6?
So
what did he do that was so made you think he was such a?
What are you talking about?
What made you think that Boba was such a?
It's Boba Fett.
Oh, I hear you saying the words, but see, this is where I come back with this character. Everybody likes Boba Fett, right?
I mean, I like him enough.
But what did he do in the original Star Wars trilogy that made you go, dang, that's an awesome, that character kicks some butt?
Well, for me, it was, I mean, he did get the drop on like the heroes that we were following, but for me, it was not really during the original
with the help
series.
of Darth Vader. Yeah.
It was not the original series. It was, I read the books after the fact.
Oh, well, okay.
The canon that came out of it after the fact was wonderful.
I'm not using the books, but okay, that's fine. So, but my point is that, so Boba Fett, right? In this show, it could be argued that he's not kicking enough butt, right? Or they're not showing him kicking enough butt.
Right.
I mean, he totally annihilated some giant creature coming out of the sand.
I mean, that was cool.
And choked it.
Yeah.
Right.
Choked the life out of it.
Right. He beat up a bunch of the bikers. He didn't have his armor. He seems to be doing a lot of things,
I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying I feel like he's also getting pimp slapped a little bit. More than he should be.
By who? By the Wookiee?
Well, that mayor bothers me so much.
The who?
The mayor they kept going to see.
Oh, the mayor.
Like
he was talking
at what point do you just like beat that guy up because like you're supposed to be a crime lord, right?
Oh, okay. So you're guilty of the same thing that frustrates me. Okay.
What?
I got
What
it.
am I guilty of? I'm just
So
saying
you're
that
guilty of not allowing the story to play itself out.
I'm not criticizing. I'm saying this is what I want to see. I can't
Okay,
criticize something I haven't seen yet. If it comes to light, then great.
Okay, so you're willing to wait for it to come to the future, but you're not saying we should have already seen that.
No. I understand the
Okay,
process.
okay.
What did I say exactly? I said what I would like to see is him be more badass.
Right. Okay, so cool.
And my only criticism so far is the Power Rangers. That's it.
So a lot of people are saying that he's not been badass enough up to this point.
Well,
That's what a lot of the complaints.
4 episodes, I guess, but 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Only.
4 episodes. They're saying he hasn't been.
On the first episode, he escapes from the pit no one else can escape from, and then beats to death a sand monster.
Right.
Gains in the first episode, he was absolutely totally badass.
Right. In the second episode, he takes down a speeding train, with a bunch of sand people.
Yeah.
Right. Steals the stuff. In the third episode, he does get his butt kicked by the Wookiee a little bit, but that's setting up something for the future. I think
That Wookiee was sort of cool too, though.
that Wookiee's very cool.
Yeah.
So the reason why I got upset was not because people are complaining about Boba Fett, which is fine. People can complain, have your opinion, whatever you want. That's no problem. But
yeah,
back it up with something that makes sense. So IGN wrote this story that says Star Wars has a Tatooine problem. Why does an insignificant frontier world continue to play such a large role in the Star Wars mythos? The book of Boba Fett's most unintentionally illuminating line comes during the bounty hunters meeting with the twins, a pair of Hutts, who have decided that fighting a war for Jabba's old territory isn't worth the hassle. Tatooine is a worthless rock, one of them says dismissively, advising Boba Fett to depart for more fertile territory.
But what about the spice?
Maybe. Okay, so despite being described by Luke Skywalker as the planet furthest from the bright center of the universe, Tatooine is arguably Star Wars' most famous planet, serving as the headquarters for Jabba's criminal empire and the home planet for both Luke and Anakin Skywalker. It has basically served as a central place in the Star Wars mythos. So, but what they go on to say in this thing here is that basically they're tired of Star Wars focusing on Tatooine, and why didn't they go and hang out on the Hutt's planet and show us a whole bunch of new Star Wars instead of just giving us a bunch of fan service is what they called it, with dripping sarcasm, that basically all they're doing is trying to get bucks off of making fans feel good about things they already know about in Star Wars.
Hey, a newsflash, it's been 3 episodes. I don't know. What do you expect to happen?
4 episodes, yeah.
I'm sorry, 4 episodes. Like, you have to...
Right.
Do people forget how to tell a story? You got to set it up, dude. Not everyone has read all the canon and all that. You got to set the story up. You got to set the... Maybe we go to Jabba's or the Hutt's planet at some point. I don't know. But we got to establish... The guy just crawled out of the Snorlax pit or whatever. You got to establish things, dude.
Well, that's the frustrating thing is like Tatooine is the center of so many things in Star Wars, but it sort of feels like we didn't really know that much about Tatooine. Like you've been there a bunch of times, you know about a bunch of things, but what we see a little bit of Mos Eisley in episode 4, Jabba's palace, sort of in the sands. I mean, you got like these little tastes of Tatooine, but you never saw it all brought together. And my argument would be in Star Wars is that we hop from planet to planet so often that we don't really understand the universe or the galaxy that we're dealing with in Star Wars.
Yeah, I didn't even know there were more than one Hutt.
Right. There you go. That's a good point.
I didn't know they had their own species. And like, I mean, yes, obviously it was a species, but I didn't know it was like the Hutts were some like powerful crime families. Like that's a whole other aspect. I didn't know. We knew nothing about their culture. This is what I knew about Jabba the Hutt. Ready? That's it.
Well,
apparently at one point they were warriors, and the only reason like Jabba was weirdly fat because he had so much power he decided he didn't want to move anymore But there are huts that can actually like move around and fight and stuff. But when the real rich ones get powerful enough, they get carried around on litters and they just have no reason to lose weight. So the only huts we ever see are the stupid, rich, insanely fat ones. But there are some huts that can move around and kick some butt. Like in that footage, remember in Star Wars, the special edition when he actually added Jabba moving around and interacting with Han.
It's such a terrible scene too.
I understand what's a terrible scene, but it makes sense now that was before Jabba was so powerful that he just decided he didn't need to move anymore. Because apparently that's the thing with huts. They get powerful enough, they don't want to move.
Well, I don't think that was it. I think the intention was he wrote Jabba the Hutt was originally written as a man, not as an alien, because they didn't have the technology to create the creature.
No, I know, but the explanation of him moving around was that it was before he had so much power.
I mean, I guess that's a good explanation, but there's not a whole lot of time between, when he's meeting him at the Millennium Falcon, and there's not a whole lot of time in between, but maybe that's the case, but the point is that, the IGN is complaining that we've spent too much time on Tatooine, when I would argue that we are just kind of figuring out what Tatooine's really all about. And Tatooine is where it begins. Tatooine is where we started in Star Wars.
Right. And
it is a touching point. It is one of those places where we continue to return to because there's something about this place that's special and important. So what do the fans deserve? After getting completely obliterated with episodes 8 and 9, they needed to come back to some sort of fan service to give us something that we're familiar with, a time frame that we understand, characters that we understand and their motivations, and build back upon that so they could create a Star Wars universe that we care about again.
Yeah.
So IGN writing this garbage about the fact that they're tired of already being in Tatooine and they want to go do new things. I mean, look, man, how many times can you just jump around? What did we spend? 30 minutes on Hoth? How many planets are we going to jump around from and not understand anything going on other than it's a new planet?
Yeah, I want to know more about Hoth. Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, we have so little lore. What about Return of the Jedi with the Jedi Temple and the jungle? That's a whole thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like there are so many things to explore, and I admit I do want to see Nal Hutta, and I do want to see these places, but we haven't worn out Tatooine yet, or we haven't got all the. We're not tired of Tatooine yet.
Yeah, what's the rush, bro? I don't know.
We got Tashi Station for the first time. Remember Luke mentioned the power converters? We got to visit there finally.
About time.
And it's like, that's cool. And I'm sorry if you don't think it's cool, but it's cool. So I don't know. That's my rant. I wish Kat Bailey, the senior news editor at IGN, would just slow your roll a bit, buddy.
Yeah, my question is,
or
does he or she even have a lightsaber? I bet you they don't. So your article is mute. Yeah, listen, I'm not. Jane is obviously liking Boba Fett more than I am, but I am enjoying it. I think it's good. I don't have any real qualms with it, aside from what I already mentioned. And again, episode 3, guys. Or 4, I guess, whatever. But it's real early, guys. Imagine if you stopped watching Stargate at episode 4.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? They're just not kicking enough butt yet, man.
Yeah, guys.
Just not kicking enough butt. Why haven't they defeated those evil aliens?
The first 2 episodes, they just get their butt kicked. And then they have a lot of cringe moments. Like, remember that moment where, with Sam Carter was super cringe. They didn't have any chemistry yet. Like, it takes time for a story to develop and characters to find chemistry. And look what it gave us, dude. It gave us one of the greatest TV shows of all time. But if you had stopped watching in the first 5 episodes of Stargate, how dumb would you feel? But I tell you this, first 5 episodes of Stargate aren't great. Like, there's some problems. Same with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I've said a million times. The entire first season for me, in my opinion, is not good.
Right.
I kept watching, and it's one of the greatest science fiction shows I've ever seen that no one knows about. I'm telling you. I would just, you don't gotta watch it, but I would let the story develop before you go crazy. You don't even know what's gonna happen yet.
Well said.
Not really, but you know what I mean.
Let's see who we got over here in the chat. We have got Atheist for the Cause has showed up. Welcome, buddy.
What up?
He's got some things to say. Let's see. If you don't watch TV shows on the release day, you have to accept spoilers, especially on a pop culture show. Thank you. That is a good point. You hear that, Brian? You gotta expect the spoilers if you're not catching it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, Atheist says he doesn't actually mind renaming the ship Slave One. It is Disney, and that makes more family friendly. I'll give him a pass on that. Yeah, I don't care as much as other people do. I mean, I do think it's dumb to change the name for the reason they're changing it.
Yeah, the reason is dumb. Not like
But,
it's like a creative choice.
If they want to change it, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to stop watching the show because they changed the name.
No, neither am I. At least give us an in-canon reason, though.
Yeah, let's see. Is Jabba the Hutt a shot at powerful leaders like the Kims of North Korea? Possibly. Yeah, I mean, it's those are bad guys. And now that's a really good question about Boba Fett. Is Boba Fett a bad guy? Because so far he's not a bad guy in this movie. So it's very interesting. In this last episode, we find out that essentially his motivation, we figure out his motivation in this episode. The fact that he really didn't want to be a bounty hunter anymore. And he was actually enjoying being with the Sand People. And he was kind of going to take a new course, a new way of life for him. And now he's gone from that to, I'm going to start my own family and forget getting pushed around. That's kind of where he's at now. So,
yeah. All right, let's move on.
All right.
What's next?
So what do you think about a 3-hour Batman movie?
Oh my God.
It's funny. This article by the Hollywood Reporter says, Robert Pattinson's The Batman runs nearly 3 hours with credits. And it says here, that's the longest of any film starring the Dark Knight and one of the longest of any superhero pick playing in theaters behind Avengers Endgame. Well, apparently they didn't watch Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah.
Because that is a whopping 4 hours and 2 minutes.
Yeah. That I loved the Snyder cut. But I don't want to watch a 3-hour brooding Batman movie. I just don't, man.
That actually surprises me coming from you.
Just as I was starting to get excited for this, and then I see it's 3 hours, which means Pattinson is taking this real seriously. And you think, first off, that's a good thing. He's taking the role seriously. Like, your Batman has got to have a little levity. I'm not saying crack jokes or whatever, but like, I don't want to see Twilight version of it. I'm not saying that. I shouldn't say that. I don't want to see brooding emo Batman. I need to see action. I need to see mystery and resolve. There needs to be something that holds I'm not going to do a drama version of Batman. I'm not going to go watch a comic book character in a drama. I'm not going to do it.
Well, can I give you why it might be a good thing? That means that if it's going to be 2 hours and 55 minutes, which is the official runtime of the movie, then that means that we are definitely getting another origin story. And I know we're kind of tired of origin stories to some degree, but I have to admit, each one is interesting. I kind of enjoy all the origin stories.
When they gave us just as a Shazam origin story, great.
Yeah.
That character's never been on screen before. I'll take an origin story for any character that's never been on screen or has not been on screen very often. But the Flash, Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, bro, I do not need to see that origin story again and again and again. How many Batman movies are? Look, I love Batman, but how many Batman movies? Right? There's 10.
Yeah, we've got one.
Oh, come on, dude.
We've had 3 origins? No, we've only had 2 origin. No, we only had 3 origin stories.
TV shows. There's also a lot of TV shows. Look, Spider-Man did it right. Marvel did it right this last time. When Sony rebooted Spider-Man with Tom Holland, they just avoided the origin story. They knew that everyone had already seen it with Toby's and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
Well, they could though, because they inserted him in the middle of Avengers. So that's how they were able to avoid it. But it's not, it's difficult to do when you're dealing with a new character and there's not some other storyline,
Yeah,
they inserted him basically in the middle of Civil War.
All right, so if there's an origin story for Batman, when we go to see this movie, okay, I'm gonna leave and get something to eat, and you text me when the origin story's over, okay? And I'll just saunter back in when I'm like, hey, I've seen it, man. Someone kills his parents outside of a theater, and I've seen it. I'm good.
All right, you don't want to see the cave with the bats and the kid freaking out and screaming.
God, I'm so tired of that too. Like everyone makes that so artistic.
His parents get killed outside the theater. Wouldn't it be cool if Joaquin Phoenix had a cameo and he's the one who kills his parents?
Man, I would love this. I would love for Joaquin Phoenix to be a part of this universe. I would. That would be awesome. In fact, I'll tell you what. Give me a 3-hour Batman if that universe is being shared with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, because I went to see Joker with such low expectations.
Right.
I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to go watch this realistic drama of Joker. My wife was the one that wanted to watch it. Like, her and her sister were like, oh, I want to watch it. Because they love boring drama stuff, right?
Right.
And I'm like, all right, let's go watch it. Like, don't you want to watch it? It's Joker. They think that they're doing me a favor, right? That was
Right.
my mindset. I'm like, okay, they're thinking they're doing me a favor when I could totally wait to see this. But what I saw was Joaquin Phoenix, like in real time, going crazy, and his entire personality shifting, and then the reveal, which I'm not going to kill if you haven't seen it. It is an honest to goodness origin story for the Joker. And here's the difference between Batman and the Joker. Ready? We've never seen Joker's origin story. We've never read his origin story. No one up until that movie, all they ever had was theories. The first ever in studio, in canon origin story of if not the Joker.
Right.
But with Batman, we've been seeing his origin story since what? The 60s? Not just in comic books, in TV shows, in cartoons, in so many cartoons.
Story.
What's that?
TV shows didn't really show us. The original Batman TV show didn't really focus on the origin story. You didn't really get a good origin story until the 1980s Batman movie.
Okay, you're talking about the 60s
when his parents were killed in front of them.
Okay, yeah, but how many cartoons? Every cartoon. Every time Batman's rebooted, there's the origin story. Have you ever seen a Joker origin story? Not once. Not
that was what was great. Phoenix. Well, you did see a Joker origin story in the first Batman movie with Michael Keaton. Remember, he was dumped.
I guess you did sort of. Yeah. Yeah, he like fell in the thing, right?
Yeah, he fell into the.
But he was already a mob boss or whatever.
Yeah, and he was also the one that killed his parents, which made more sense too.
That does make more sense.
Yeah. No, it was a good origin, but it would be great if this Bruce Wayne, if Robert Pattinson was basically the kid that Joaquin Phoenix is talking to through the gate at Wayne Manor.
That would be phenomenal.
That would be so great,
Like, and I don't even. Why would you not do that? Why would you not want to stand on the shoulders of that movie? That movie was amazing.
I'm not sure why it's not. I mean, that would be something that we really should look into. Like, why is that not happening? It's possible that Joaquin doesn't want to be that. He doesn't want to be a superhero bad guy.
Well, maybe but the studio can just say it's in the same. They don't even have to mention Joaquin. They can say they're in the same universe, and that would instantly add more clout to this movie, with or without Joaquin Phoenix.
Well, that would, though, if he doesn't want to be the Joker down the road, it would definitely affect, future movies.
And that's what they're worried about. They don't want to write the checks necessary to get them under contract.
Right, because you're looking at, okay, so what do you have in this movie? You've got, the Riddler, you're going to have the Penguin, you're going to have Catwoman. You have quite a few characters coming in this movie, which is a little surprising. Might also be why it's long. And what I thought's interesting is that this movie is going to focus on the early days of Bruce Wayne's fighting crime. And I'm just not sure how that's any different than Christian Bale's early days of fighting crime, or even Michael Keaton's early days of fighting crime, because those were both early Batman as well. The only later Batman I can think of, if you're counting them, which we don't really count, the ones after Michael Keaton that were still part of the same series. So George, what's his name? I totally
right. I know you're talking about.
But you're thinking of really Ben Affleck really being the only older Batman. So what is so special about this Batman?
This is the serious.
What was Christian Bale not serious?
So he was serious, but he also played the playboy, and
okay,
he had some, like, they definitely had some, like, normalcy and humanity to him.
Okay, and then Keaton had the comedy chops.
Yeah, he had the comedy chops, and dude, even our boy Ben Affleck, his chemistry with the other characters were good.
Yeah,
I think what we're gonna get here. Have you seen The Lighthouse yet?
I haven't watched it. I keep wanting to, but something stops me, and I'm pretty sure it's Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, it's. I mean, so yeah. So while
it's not Willem Dafoe.
While his performance is very, very good, it is so boring.
Yeah, I think it was my son, my 22-year-old son, who told me, he goes, Dad, yeah, it's kind of weird. And I'm like, okay, I'm not watching it. So.
And I can appreciate that he's definitely a better actor than I thought he was. Right. But I can also say, subjectively speaking, I haven't seen anything that Robert Pattinson has done that hasn't excited me. Like, nothing he's ever done excited me. The way his acting is definitely meant for someone else. I'm not saying it's not good, but it's so dramatic, and it's very measured, very deliberate, and I'm over here with ADHD like, woo!
Something's got to happen.
It's not for me.
Interesting. All right. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Is 3 hours too much? Is it not enough? I don't know. You guys let us know what you think about a 3-hour Batman movie. Do we need another? What I call it?
Batman movie?
Creative story. The beginning of the story.
Oh, origin story.
Origin story. Do we need another origin story?
No, we don't.
Moving on. Well, it comes out March 4th, by the way.
Oh, it's coming out.
Planning to watch it and buy tickets.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you watch it first.
You're not gonna go see it?
I'm gonna wait.
That shocks me for some reason.
I'm gonna wait. 3 hours, bro. That's an investment, dude. That's an investment, dude.
Wow. Maybe we should just see who's gonna go see it first.
I'll tell you what I'm.
We could have like a game where we like face off against each other to see who can wait the longest.
You know what I'm 100% watching, like in theaters, like for sure?
What's that?
Opening day, Shazam 2. Black Adam.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Black Adam. Yeah.
Black Adam. I'm more excited for those two movies, I think, than any comic book movie.
Well, that is still than any other comic book movie.
Right.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I'm curious. I'm definitely curious. And I like the first Shazam movie. Part of me is kind of wondering, like, well, what else are they going to do with Shazam? Mm-hmm. Like, I felt like they kind of did it. The whole kid to adult thing.
Yeah. Now we can get past that. We've seen his
origin. Do we have to
origin.
see him as a kid again now?
I mean, every once in a while he might be a kid, sure, but for the majority of the time, I fully expect him to be adult Shazam.
Yeah, because I feel like now the role is just, Levy. I believe he should just be that character.
Right.
I don't need to see the kid anymore.
Right. The only time we see the kid is when he's like, "All right, guys, I'm going to bed."
So he really is a kid the whole time.
He is a kid. Yeah, he's a kid. He turns the powers off when he's done being a superhero.
All right. So it's not that he's grown up now.